Hey guys, welcome to another day on the shop. Today, we're not working on this. You saw in the thumbnail, we're working on the 240. So let me pull it in here and let's go down the list of things it needs. All right, well, I have an angry dog around the corner. I don't know why. So we're gonna come out here and look at the 240. Zip ties on my ground. If you haven't checked out the video about the shop extension, you should. It's not terrible. It's not the greatest, but it's there. Just come out here. This thing's been sitting too long. It looks pitiful. Look at it. You got little monkey prints all over it. A big old cat. Hasn't ran. It's actually getting mold on the tires. So it still smells good. Oh, let's pop the hood. I think I'm missing an oxygen sensor because I had to take it off. All right, well, opening the hood. Looks like I have mouse droppings back here. Hopefully not. Yeah, I've got one. Good. So now my only contemplation. Look at that, more mouse poop. Where's this mouse poop coming from? A mouse. Well, hopefully it's in the belts whenever I crank this thing. I got to find out if the battery's good, because I don't know. So let's try and crank it, and if it cranks, we'll get it in the shop. If it doesn't crank, then we will yeah, we'll jump it and get it there. So let's try this. Now this thing's low. Oh, look, we got power. We don't have much power. It's reading no volts. And here, nothing. All right. Looks like we get to jump it off. Let's jump it off. All right, a little bit. All right, I think I've talked about this little jump box before. This thing's freaking awesome. So it's just a little emergency jump box kind of deal, but it works every time. 100% every time. Unless it's dead. It's not like Ron Burgundy. 30% most of the time. Or all the time. Play that clip.
They've done studies, you know. 60% of the time, it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
No. No. Hook this thing up and jump this thing off and get it in the shop real quick. All right, battery's hooked up. Let's see what we read now. All right, we got some good voltage. All right, fuel pump's primed. Yes, there we are. All right, let's get this in the shop. All right, well, two things. Got it running, went to take off the jump box, basically put the hood down. I locked my keys in my car. Second, thank goodness I had already turned it off. I had fuel spray everywhere. I'm not sure, I guess a little bit from here and a little bit from down here, but dadgum, there's a lot of fuel. So yeah, before I did anything, I unplugged the jump box, making sure that I didn't decide to set my car on fire unintentionally. And now that I got Phillips head out here, I need to get me a flathead for that. All right, before we can even start this video, we're gonna see if this thing has a fuel leak again. Let's see. I don't see a fuel leak. Oh. All right, well, I heard that, but all right, let's try this again. All right, well, we're in here now. Yeah, I've got things to do. All right, well, I went through and I picked out some of the stuff I have that I need to put on here. Number one, some cheap coilovers to replace my coilovers that are broken and missing parts and stuff like that. Number 2, another eBay turbo. Hopefully this one does not do what the other one did, to replace the same exact turbo, which is a 6-bolt flange T3 in the back of that. Next, cooling piece for the front. I got it as steel because it's super cheap and I'm not worried about weight. Got some 550cc injectors once I fix the 270s, or 370s, excuse me. So we're going from 370s to 550s eventually. Got a new coolant tank. Got a relay kit for the fuel pump. New side marker lights. They're clear. I don't know if I like them. New fuel filter. Coolant lines for the turbo. More lines, more fittings for fuel lines and stuff. And then a oil cooler for oil. So I gotta figure all that out. I'm not sure if the oil cooler is going on, but if it does, cool. If it doesn't, cool, whatever. But most of the other stuff is going on. The turbo has to go on because the other one is broken. It has fins that are mangled and a bent shaft. I think it's due to heat, but I'm not 100% sure. We actually have to clock the center of this to match where the other one is. Yep, the 6-bolt spins pretty freely as a journal bearing. But yeah, we got to clock this a little different so that we can get the oil and the water where it needs to go. Well, made a little bit of progress. So I got to replace these bolts, these things. I loosened them up and they were one of them was loose. And then once I went to put them back on, the lock nuts are not locking very well. And then these little lock washers are flat. So I need new ones. I need more high grade, high grade ones. Turbo, I have reclocked where I need my turbo drain and inlet, as well as my water lines, and then I clean it all out. I've got to undo the elbow down there, the water lines, and the drain line for the oil. And once I do that, the whole thing pops out, and I should be able to finagle it out somehow. I'm guessing I gotta drop the manifold again. I really don't want to, but finally got it off. All right, let's see this impeller in person. Take all these bolts out. All right, see that? The shaft's bent. It should still create some turbo noises and whatnot, but yeah, it hasn't been. So we got another one to get rid of the shaft play and the gap where it tore itself up. All right, well, we disassembled one turbo. Where is it? It's over here. So, like I said, we disassembled it. I showed you the shaft play right there. It's just a wiggle jiggle, and yeah. So now we got the new one right here. We cleaned it all out, put the new stuff on it, and now it's clean. This manifold's clean. This I kind of cleaned up the interior of it to flow better. I wanted the best exhaust flow I could. Yeah, it still has the block off plate right there, but really wish kind of I would have went with a screamer pipe, but I wanted it quiet. So but that black section around that is what I would had to cut to fit in the 6-bolt pattern. So, but the next thing is I redid the water lines, put some new heat shield on it, because that's how hot the turbo got, and started ruining my lines. Which one's this one? This one's not the ruined one. The ruined one's right here. Yeah, it's where is it? Right there. All right, so yeah, it's split right there, and the rest of it is kind of dried out. It just got way too hot where the turbo was, so I'll put new heat shield on it and it should be better. So now we're going to get the turbo in and then put the manifold on and then screw the turbo to the manifold. But let's put this elbow on and go from there. All right, turbo's hooked up. Lastly, all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bleed the water one more time on this side. I'm gonna hook up the intake because it's easier to get to without the charge pipe in. And then I just gotta hook up the exhaust, plug the wires back in, and crank it back up, and it's on 370s. Play with it for a minute, and then I might swap to the 550s and go party. Yeah, let's do this. It didn't take too long. It was a little bit of a struggle, but turbo's all the way plumbed and everything else. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put the new coolant reservoir in, and then, like I said, I'll start looking at putting the 550s in so I can put all the new stuff in. But let's get this thing in order to where it runs. I gotta put the catch cam back on it right here, and I want to put a rib nut here, but I'm not sure yet. And then I've got the coilovers I got to still put on. So let's get this done. And yeah, and my little helper's here.
Yeah, I like to just watch with him some days and watch with him not some days, but I watch with him Saturdays.
Yep, she likes to work Saturdays with me. So let's finish this little upgrade and then start it up. Well, the joys of buying things that are on eBay. So as you try and put this in here, it looks like it'll fit just nice. But once you start looking at things, oh, let me show you. That spout hits. That I turned down a little bit further. And then this one, can't even see, hold on. This one, it doesn't even line up with that hole at all. And while that sits like that, that hits down there, and it doesn't line up at all. So let's create some type of something or another, like drilling another hole and lifting this up just a hair. Right, well, we got it in. So we bent the tube right here just a little bit to clear the fender. We put that in, bent that bracket. We bent this bracket and put a self-tapper in, and it holds. So now we can fill it up with a little bit of fluid about midway, and then we need another hose for overflow. Okay, well, everything's hooked back up, and now we should be able to start it again, just to test out and see how it sounds. I put a new O2 sensor on it. It is an NGK, little single wire down there. So yeah, you should check out the link in the description below if you need one, because yeah, they're not bad. So let's hop up in this dirty car real quick and start her up. All right, starting her up. All right, after startup, air fuel is not too bad. Make sure I'm not leaking fuel everywhere and everything else. Doesn't sound too bad. Let's check it. Well, when you're testing your turbo, you want to definitely make sure it's getting enough oil by not hooking up the return line to your engine. That's the spot on way how to make sure that your turbo is getting plenty of oil. So now we're gonna go to one of our sponsors. So in messes like this, I go to Super Clean and I get some floor absorbent. Cause yeah, that's some oil. That's a shame. But at least it dumped straight on the ground, hopefully, and didn't go everywhere. But like I said, I know I'm getting oil and I'm getting plenty of it. So that might be a good thing. So yeah, let's clean this up. All right, well, it's absorbing. Line is hooked back up. Now we can get back in there and look at all the gauges again. Let's do that. Well, I didn't get a whole lot of video of it, but turbo, like I said, was in. I ran it. Everything looks good. All my leaks are fixed. So we're moving on to the next thing, the coilovers. So going from one nasty, crappy red coilover for another nasty, red, crappy coilover. But those on all four corners are shot completely. These are not yet, so we're going with that. Oh yeah, I forgot, I got a cooling panel. So I got this cheap, and yeah, so I gotta get this installed now, and however I gotta put it in here. There we go. Help out with some cooling. I'll get it all the way in here and then button it down with these screws that are already in place, just to help kind of move the air through. The bottom section, I kind of need to put something down there to keep that air from escaping. So yeah, I'm gonna pop this wheel off, which I basically already have. Oh yeah, I need to order brakes too. I forgot about that. My brakes are going. Look at that. R32 brakes, they are going. Need new ones. All right. So I'm gonna get these crappy things off and put these other ones on, and hopefully the ride quality's a million times better. Well, discovered something. That's grease. That's my ball joint down there, it's split. So in the midst of everything, now I get to replace this control arm. Good thing I got another one. I got one more. I did one on the other side. Now I can replace this one, and then I'll have two new control arms up front. All right, so I got these two together. This is called a super stable suspension stiffener. I don't know. That's weird. And this is another cheap eBay. I don't want to mention the brand. They've been pretty cool with me, but yeah, it's been difficult. So we're gonna set these about the same as these, I think, just because I like the stance and all that. Since these are brand new, I hope that these don't die on me like these did. So I'm gonna go ahead and measure everything up and set it up identically to these, because I had these set up like I liked, and we're gonna go ahead and do that with this. So let's go ahead and set this one up. Well, that didn't take too long. Got that one in. Need to secure my brake line. Then you come over here and same thing. My neighbor's dogs are barking too much. Brake line's just sitting there. Oh, and I broke off my forgot my sway bar bushing. I broke it. I gotta get another one. I might have one in a box. If I don't, I'll just order one. No big deal. But yeah, now I gotta put that arm on. Once I put that arm on, then I just got the rear, so I'm not bouncing all down the road like I have been. Well, got it done. So up under here, if we can see, oh, in the trunk where it shuts on me, give you some light, give you some aspect of things. All right, so you see where that little knob is at the top? I had to cut all that out. So, but it fit. All right, and the back is on. As you see, there's not a lot of droop, so I'm kind of worried. I might have to raise them up because I don't know how much they're gonna come down. So I put the ramps back up under there. Yeah, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna lower it and see what it does. So let's check it out. So it's a little tucked, not too bad. Needs to settle too, so once it settles, it's gonna come down a little bit further. I just don't want it to bump down. It's a lot better than the other ones, by the way. The other ones, the rebound was horrible. This one's a little bit taller. But once everything settles, we'll look at it again, and if I gotta drop it some more, I'll drop it some more. Yeah, the tread's right up above the fender well on that one. And I got about 1/2 inch on this side. So, but now that we're done with everything else, we're gonna go ahead and lower it down, shut the hood, and crank it up. See how it goes. Gotta clean up my mess down here still. Still got mess. All right, let's do that. All right, it's out of the shop. It's time to go wash it, take it for a test drive. But that'll be in the next video. So we're gonna do some driving and diagnosing, and hopefully we make sure that this thing is on point so I can start driving it more, because I can't drive it like this. And if it keeps acting up, I might have to look for an outside source to figure out my issue. And it might be parts, and it's probably gonna be costly. So I wanna thank you for joining in to another day on the shop. And if you like this content, please subscribe and give me a like down below. Give me a comment if you didn't like it, or if you have a question. I do answer just about every single comment on every single video. So leave me a comment. Check out the merch at Teespring. Check out Patreon and any of the links in the description below for any of my sponsors or anybody else you want to check out. As of Super Clean, it's awesome. It's cleaned up my spot right there. We used it in my oil spill. Because I love it, and I love their products. They work really well. I'm about to go clean the 240 with some of their wheel cleaner and some other products. So check them out, and thanks again.
She gets a special cologne. It's called Sex Panther by Odeon. It's illegal in 9 countries.
It smells like a used diaper filled with Indian food.